from Results Only Fitness, and this is another episode of the FitNight Show. You'll notice we are not at the gym. We are out. I am doing a seminar for some college kids, and it is about entrepreneurship and getting ahead in the fitness industry. So I'm really excited to talk to some of them. I'm not going to do a long intro today because today's episode has an interview with a trainer with commonly asked questions. So take a look at that one. We've got a few clips of our recently done nutrition seminar where I spoke about what to order when you're out. It had a little bit of a fast food theme because there were some people in there who are on the road a lot, so they kind of wanted a little help with that stuff. And then Mari and I also do a quick tip on running styles, running on a treadmill, running outside, especially because now at this point in the year, there's a lot of people in Arizona who are starting to get outside. It's really beautiful out here. They're getting out on the trails. And I also know some of our East Coast people and some of our Northwest people are starting to get out of the snow, so they want to get outside a little bit. So no long intro today, no discussion about some other things that are going on. Just we're going to get right into our FitNight Show episode. All right, everybody, I've got Mari here, and we have been getting a bunch of emails. We've had a bunch of people at the gym. It's beautiful here in Phoenix, and then a lot of the people who are living in the Northeast and the Northwest are starting to come out of their winter doldrums. They want to get back outside. They want to start running again. So whether it's perfect, to be outside or not, Mari and I just wanted to take you through a couple of things to note whether you're on a treadmill or you just need to work on your form. So first things first, if you're going to be on a treadmill, it's really not a great idea for you to be walking at 2.5 and watching Oprah repeats. I mean, that's like the biggest dumb thing, right, Mari? So if you go to a club and you just watch the basketball game or you just turn something on, you're not really going to get much out of that. So you really want to mix in intervals. Let's say you go quickly for 30 seconds and then you rest for a minute. Something as simple as doing that 10 or 12 times can be a killer metabolic finisher for your routine. But before you do any of that, whether you're going outside or inside, I want to go over a couple of things. So TJ is manning the camera right now. Mari's going to be my little model. So whenever she walks on a treadmill, we're going to keep her at about 3.5 as her minimum walking speed. Now, if you got a hip replacement or a knee replacement, maybe you got to modify that. But this is not very challenging for her. But if you're walking, whether outside or inside, it should be challenging. You're doing it for fitness. You're not trying to buy a wedding dress. You're not trying to pick out new shoes. So you're not walking in the mall. You got to be, focused on doing something for fitness. Now, TJ, you don't have to zoom in, but if you look at Mari, we've spent a lot of time working on her form because when she first came to us, she was a little bit of a toe-heavy runner. So we'll go over that when she starts running. But notice it's a heel, ball, toe. So her heel strikes first, it moves to the ball, and then it moves to the toes. Now, in just a second, I'm going to have Mari go to a little bit of a running pattern, and I'm going to ask her to do a few things. But before we do so, TJ, if you could just kind of come in a little bit closer, notice how she's swinging her arms freely. Now, if I started to speed her up, and we're just taking her from 3.5 to 4.0, I would ask her to put her arms more at 90 degrees and start to pump her arms. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this, and TJ, maybe you can come around and get a shot from just kind of the side here. A lot of people, and you can just catch me on this one, a lot of people will walk and they'll sway their arms across their body. What most people don't realize is that puts a lot of torque on your lower lumbar spine. So just by walking, you could be doing something that's not great. Notice Mari kind of has her hands outside her rib cage, and she just pumps her arms forward. Now, Mari, I'm going to bring you 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to bring her to a nice, easy jog. TJ, can you work your way over to show her jogging on the treadmill, and we'll get a shot of her feet. So if you notice, when she's running, she's doing a great job of staying heel, ball, toe. Now we're going to take a few seconds here. We're going to have her do a couple of bad versions. Mari, can you go very toe heavy? So you can listen on a treadmill and hear how it actually changed. Now she's going a little bit quick, and if I were to slow it down, I could show something different. Go back because that's just driving me crazy. But when she was toe heavy, she really was putting a lot of undue stress on her knee and her hips. Now she went back more to a heel, ball, toe, which you can hear sounds softer. And then Mari, we're gonna go to something really loud and go flat-footed. So now, instead of going heel, ball, toe, she's literally smacking her whole foot on the treadmill. And this happens outside all the time. Mari, take me back down to a walk. Now, TJ, if you would, come on back up. So what I want you to get from that little demonstration is that we have a lot of people who come in and they don't know whether they're toe heavy or heel heavy, or they're rolling their feet in or rolling their feet out. So it's really great to find somebody, a trainer, or maybe a medical doctor, a podiatrist type person who can look at your gait. There are specialists who do that. There are some great shoe companies that do that. So maybe you have somebody in your town who can do that for you. The last thing I want to work on with Maury is not something she's ever had a problem with, but we do see a lot in the gym. Maury, could you do me a favor and just walk and kind of shrug your shoulders? So a lot of people, when they walk, they kind of get all up in their shoulders, start getting close to their ears. And they, especially when they start to go, like I'm going to take her above 4, she's at 4.3. Now she doesn't get to run yet, she's going to walk, and then she's also kind of getting into that zone. I'll bring her back down, and again, this is not something Maury tends to struggle with. But if you start to feel like you're getting a lot of tension through your shoulders and neck, it's probably because you're shrugging a lot. So, what are the things I want you to do? I want you to, A, if you're going to start adding some walking or running to your routine, make sure you put in some 30-second intervals. 8, 9, 10, 12 different intervals of 30 seconds each would be a great metabolic finisher. Pay attention to your gait. Make sure you have a nice stride length. Make sure you're landing a heel, ball, toe, not toe heavy, heel heavy, or flat-footed, and then watch your shoulders and your arms. If you do all those things, now that the weather is getting better, I think you're really going to enjoy being outside, whether you're walking or running, and I think you're going to start to see some better results if you start to do more of the interval work. There you go. The whole idea of what we're going to talk about today is the basics of carbs. We're going to talk about some carb timing, and we're going to talk about eating out. And the reason why we're going to do that is because I think our demographic tends to, when asked in the past, will eat out a lot more than is typically good for a fat loss regimen. So usually when you're going to eat for fat loss, you would eat out no more than 2 or 3 times a week. And I think a lot of people, if you start to look at their breakfasts, their lunches, and their dinners, they do eat out a little bit more than that. So all you guys have to do is you have to guess which one's the healthier option. Okay, did everybody have something circled except for my 2 friends in the back?
Yep.
All right, the answer is the quarter pounder with cheese. So if you guessed right, good for you.
Wow.
Why? If you look throughout the screen, you're going to see how many calories are in each, how many grams of fat, mostly sodium on these first couple. Everybody's always going to think chicken's going to be healthier because that's what you think, but when you start using Margie, putting all that other crap on there, and guess what? We're out of luck. All right, let's play the game again. Dunkin' Donuts, ham, egg, and cheese English muffin, or a multigrain bagel with light cream cheese? You don't have to yell it out, but just circle. I do want you to play the game because I'm going to ask you to figure out how well you did at the end.
You're picking more or less?
Which one's the healthier? The answer for all of these questions is if I had only these 2 items in front of me, which one do I think is healthier for me? We good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The answer is the ham and egg and cheese English muffin. Okay. 500 calories, 15 grams of fat. Now, I want you to start to pay attention to the calorie count. Okay? Because if you are on a 1,500 calorie a day diet or a 1,750 calorie a day diet, that's a whole lot of your calories and not a whole lot of fulfillment. You with me? All right, linguine marinara or stuffed chicken marsala. I don't eat at Olive Garden either, again, but in general, okay? So you have linguine marinara and stuffed chicken marsala. We're going to do about 20 of these because I really want to bang this point home. Everybody circled? Mm-hmm. The answer is linguine marinara. And most of you probably would not have chosen the linguine because you would have thought it was bad. But it's the mushroom sauce, the marsala sauce, it's all the heavy cheeses, the heavy creams that go into this dish that make that dish. I mean, look at that. For some people in this room who are in that kind of petite range, that 5'1", 5'2", that's almost your whole day's worth of calories right there. No way that's all you just eat. All right, let's keep playing. Chicken, shrimp, fajitas, firecracker, tilapia. So fish, is that healthier? Fajitas, is that healthier? What do you think? Again, I'm using fast food stuff because it was easy to find on the internet, and it's chili, so there's probably, you see the vegetables on one side, you see the peppers and stuff on the other. We ready? Mm-hmm. Who picked the tilapia? If you picked the tilapia, good for you. Okay, again, look at the difference in calories. It's almost triple. Okay, you have a question?
Are you going to talk about sodium a little bit?
I am.
Okay.
I am. And obviously, if you're just looking at the bottom, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. This one's a big one for some people because they're just trying to, breakfast is always hard. So you're going to go to Starbucks and grab a grande vanilla latte, a ham and egg and cheese sandwich, or a 2% chocolate mocha, which I don't even know what the hell that is, with a bran muffin with nuts. This one I think is one of the more common ones because people tend to try and grab breakfast on the go, especially those of you who travel for work. All right, well, you would have been better off at Starbucks. Okay, look at the sugar content. Most of that's going to be in the coffee on that one. Okay, because the chocolate mocha is caramel macchiato, whatever the hell that is, with sugar frappuccino bases. So this is not that hard, and I bet you a lot of you are looking at this picture and going, some of that doesn't look that bad, right? Well, you got to carry food with you. If fat loss is your main priority, okay? So Margaret has done a great job. She just did New Year, New You. How many meals did you have to bring a lot of meals for lunch and you prepped a lot of things for breakfast, or were you able to make it work by just, ordering it at restaurants and things like that?
No, I prepped everything.
Got it. So, and in the beginning, was prepping hard? Probably. But did it get easier?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. So, do you prep once a week or twice a week, Margaret?
Twice a week.
So, most people, if they're going to prep, they'll prep on a Sunday. I always say, especially like during a sports type season like a football, I will cut and chop and prep all during the games because you're multitasking. You don't really need to pay attention to the football game. You don't really need to pay attention to meal prep, but you're not getting bored. You get to do the best of both worlds, and especially if you're a football fan, you're not getting yelled at by your little honey going, you're just sitting on the couch watching football. No, I'm prepping all the meals for the week, by the way. I think that's pretty awesome. The other thing about it is if you've prepped, how many of you have ever come home and you're running late and you didn't pull something out and then you're just like, screw it. I'm gonna order something, I'm gonna go get something, or I'm gonna heat up something. That doesn't happen at our house very often. Because we are very diligent about making sure we take something out. And then, like when it's my parents' anniversary or when it's a special event, well, then we're going to go out for that. But we cook in a lot, for example. Okay. John, how many times a month do you have to go on some sort of outing with a client or things like that? Do you have a lot of lunches out, or maybe you don't?
10.
Yeah, 10. So that's literally 2 weeks worth out of 4 weeks. He has to go out to lunch. He has no choice. He's either being entertained or has to entertain. Well, that's going to absolutely annihilate your diet if you're choosing poorly. Right? Okay, so really try and handle those lunches. Do a little research. The lunches will be easier hours. So if you have 500 calories at breakfast, and 500 calories at lunch, and 500 calories at dinner, we've hit 1,500. And then I want a couple of snacks in there, and that's a good bar that's 200 calories here, or a protein shake that's another 150 calories there, and a little cheat something here and there, and then we're at that 1,750, and bam, that's a great day. All right, everybody, today I'm here with Sidney Turner from Underlying Strength in Morrisville, Pennsylvania.
Hello, everyone.
And so, Sidney,
Cool.
all the time we get people who say, how many days a week do people say you should work out, and why do you think they should work out that long?
So, Bobby, I say live for 4.
Okay.
My goal
Live
is
for
always
4.
4. Live for 4. So that's going to be 4 days of training.
Okay.
Whether it's 2 days of weightlifting or 2 days of cardio, or a blend of both. I always say live for 4. You want to strive for 4 days a week.
Got it.
2, 3, and 4. You want 4 days of training.
Well, so here's what's interesting. Then I guess a good follow-up to that is, should they do cardio first in those training sessions, or weight training first, or is there a system to your madness?
Okay, so my system is, right, you build first and then you burn.
Got it.
It's very simple. You
Yeah.
build first, then you burn. Usually when you come in from a training session, or when you start a training session, you're going to be fueled up. You're going to have some sort of pre-workout
Right.
meal, whatever have you.
Supplements, yeah.
Supplements, or whatever it is. And that's going to be your building block to gain that muscle. And then from there, throughout your workout, you'll start to burn. And by the time you get more toward your end of your training session, that's when all the glycogen is
Absolutely.
gone, and
Yep.
then you're going to start burning.
No, that makes perfect sense.
So build, then burn.
All right, so one of the questions that someone wrote in with was, how much sleep should people get?
Sleep. So they say between 6 and 8 hours, but go big.
Yeah.
Strive for 8. Get 8 hours of sleep. It's super important. It's going to keep your stress level down. You're going to wake up wired up,
Nice.
ready to rock and roll, feeling good. And also, if you think about it, right? If you think about getting that 8, it starts to create organization in your life. Because you got to
Absolutely.
get to bed,
Right.
and then you got to wake up.
Absolutely, makes perfect sense. This is a question I have for you that I think a lot of clients come into our gym with. What do you think is missing from most people's gym routine? Like, is it an exercise? Is it how much time they put in? What do you think is missing most from people's routine?
So I would say the biggest thing that's missing is recovery. So either breathing, breath work, or stretching. Those two things are super big. People, they'll jump into a class or a group session and you'll
Right.
see them dart right out the door when
Yeah.
they finish. And
Every time.
Every time. They're like, I gotta go. But, just 5 minutes. Take
5
a
minutes.
few
See,
deep
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Take a few deep breaths. Work on some mobility in some areas. You're gonna feel great, and your body's gonna thank you for it.
At Results Only, you know how much we stress that. We say it all the time that, the last 5 minutes could be the most important 5 minutes. All right, now I'm going to throw you a curveball. So, you ready? They're going to make a movie about Sidney Turner.
Okay.
Who plays you?
Who plays me? A movie.
That's going to be good. I can't wait. I mean, look, good-looking black man here. I mean, come on.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I love it. That is awesome. That is the best answer. Totally love it.
Michael
Sidney,
B. Jordan.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Bobby.
for being on the show tonight. And